Welcome to the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I'm your host, Holly Heat. And before we get into talking to my guest, Tacho Tyler, head coach of Prairie View Women's Volleyball, let's take a look at what's been going on this week in sports. We are in the thick of both football and basketball season, and we're less than a month away from the NFL playoffs. And I'm not excited at all. It's been since about week one, and I mean like week one of 2021, that I knew my team wouldn't make the playoffs. I was actually discussing with a friend of mine how it's almost as if Cal McNair hated his father. Like, I haven't seen this level of team sabotage since the beginning of season 1 of Ted Lasso. Brilliant show, by the way, definitely worth the watch. Both the Sunday night and Monday night football games this week left little to be desired as far as excitement. Tampa Bay squeaked by the Bills in overtime, and the LA Rams upset the Cardinals. And I, for one, would like to say it's great to see Odell Beckham and his lavender tendrils catching passes, scoring touchdowns, and doing celebratory dances that I have to Google or ask my daughter to figure out. Of course, like a lot of the NFL, Beckham is now sidelined due to COVID. This is definitely an X factor when it comes to what the playoff picture might look like. Not for my team, though. In the NBA, it was revealed that the Kings' Tristan Thompson fathered a child with Houston-based personal trainer outside of his relationship with Khloe Kardashian. Ugh. I found this especially shocking because I didn't even know Tristan Thompson played for the Kings. If he keeps this up, he's about to be out here playing for the kids. Child support. Four-time NBA champion Shaquille O'Neal shared that he wanted to reward his son for making straight A's and told him to go pick out a car. When he came back after choosing a Tesla, Shaq told him he better go back and pick out a Charger. But I'm on to you, Shaq. But on to actual NBA news, although I'm sure you haven't heard about it, one Wardell Stephen Curry broke Ray Allen's three-point record Tuesday at legendary Madison Square Garden. And it begs the question, is he the best player in the NBA? I say no. That title belongs to one Kevin Easy Money Sniper Durant. Kevin is well on his way to his 5th scoring title, and I've become a fan. Sure, we can keep rehashing his exit from OKC, but honestly, it's best to just leave a relationship that's not going anywhere. My admiration has grown, and I am ready to give Kevin his flowers. No, but seriously though, that man is everything that is right with the NBA. Again, I have a great show for you. My guest is Tacho Tyler, head volleyball coach to the Prairie View Panthers. So let's get to the hot seat. Welcome back to the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I am your host, Holly Heat, and I am here with my guest, Tacho Tyler, head volleyball coach at Prairie View University. Thank you so much for being here on this late evening.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so obviously I've known you for some years, but for my audience that does not know you, you're the head volleyball coach at Prairie View. And just kind of give me a rundown of how you even got started playing volleyball. Why'd you gravitate toward that sport in particular? Start.
Okay. Well, growing up, volleyball was not around like most sports. It was track or basketball. I had 3 brothers, so that's what I picked up a basketball and played with them. So for many years, that's what I did. And then when I got into 7th grade, I got exposed to volleyball, and I loved it, but I also played 4 sports. So I was just the athletic kid who played everything. And then heading into my senior year, my high school volleyball coach, who was amazing to me, she told me that volleyball would take me further than any of my other sports. And so my senior year, I played a basketball tournament all day, and she said, hey, San Jac, which is a junior college at the time, she said they're hosting a tryout. And I was like, I literally just played 3 games right now. I'm so tired. And she was like, you need to go. And I went, and I tried out. The tryout was like halfway over. And I tried out, and they offered me a full ride. And so I played there for 2 years, and then I had some offers coming out of there, and then ultimately signed with Prairie View. and then played there for 2 years, won a championship there. And then right after, my coach at the time asked me to be an assistant. I didn't want to go to grad school right away. I was done with school. And so I was that. I was an assistant for 6 years, and I've been the head coach for 6.
So really volleyball, you played so many other sports, but it was almost like volleyball chose you because it was like, oh, you had this opportunity, and then you just, like, once you were in there, you were, like, off to the races.
Yeah, in a way, I just think that when you're young and you have every other sport for so many years, volleyball is what I had the least amount of experience in. And so ultimately, even though I had offers in track and basketball, volleyball is what I picked up later. And so I said, let me explore this a little bit more. And ultimately, Coach Garza, we love her to death, ultimately she was right. It's taken me through many, many doors that I probably would have never gone through with basketball.
So why do you say that volleyball wasn't as around as much? Because I mean, I think about my daughter, she's in middle school, they have a volleyball program. Like, why do you think you weren't exposed to it as much?
So when I graduated high school, that was like 2003. And at that time,
you don't have to age yourself.
I'm just
you don't
saying,
have to,
it's okay. It's okay. Every year I get it. It's, you know, I'm appreciative.
Yeah.
But at the time, club volleyball wasn't the big thing. It was around, but AAU basketball was like the thing.
Yeah.
And so club volleyball was relatively new.
And club volleyball is like the equivalent to AAU basketball. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And so at the time, my parents, they didn't want me to do it outside of, you know, high school or anything like that. And so even when I got to junior college, I think I was the only kid on the team who hadn't played club. So, you know, I was just the athletic kid who could do everything at the time. And so, you know, that kind of learning curve, you know, essentially put a little drive in me. But really it was my high school coach who just, despite my parents being the way they were, she really poured into me. And, you know, through volleyball, and said, yeah, you can go and you can take your basketball scholarships or you can take your track scholarships, but volleyball is really going to, you know, make that turn for you. And I just think that because I was just exposed later, and now you see club volleyball is this huge thing, you know, it's probably even bigger than AAU basketball now. You know, you're starting at 8 years old, 9 years old now. Then it just wasn't just that huge thing.
Yeah. So would you recommend that for kids if they, like, starting that young? Because that seems really young, almost like, you know, painstakingly watching, like, little kids play anything is like they're, but is it worth it for them to start that young with volleyball? Because I feel like mechanics may not be there as much for.
I'm a little impartial. I mean, okay. I think soccer is a good sport because, you know, it just works on, you know, all of your skills.
Okay.
I think that's something to pick up when you're really young. I think what I see now is volleyball players getting more burnt out by the time they get to my level. Even in high school, I mean, at this point, you see 12, 13-year-olds with knee issues and shoulder issues because, you know, they're taking big swings and a lot of swings year round. Yeah. And essentially, once you go from school play, you're straight into club. And so I wouldn't recommend it, like, you know, super young. I think 7th, 8th grade is a good time to start. But I like, you know, 4-sport athletes, 3-sport athletes, double sport athletes. Like, I don't think everybody should just hone into, you know, one sport that young.
So playing multiple sports will make you, like, more well-rounded or kind of like resilient, or?
I think resilient, well-rounded. You're used to different types of coaching. I love athletes who play volleyball, basketball, volleyball, track. It just gives your body more. But I think when you just kind of go into just one sport and that's all you're doing that young, you get burned out. And the love for it and the drive for it fades away. Even though you may do it in college, I find that those athletes who started super young like that don't always last 4 years like you want them to.
Well, I can definitely see the being burnt out part. And then kids, it's like, you know, one day they like something and the next day you're like, oh, you don't like spinach anymore. You don't like chicken tenders anymore. Okay, you don't. Yeah,
how their mind changes. It's really crazy.
Yeah. Okay, so me as not, like, you know, a super avid watcher of volleyball, though I've been to some of your. Yeah, no, I don't. Well, I've been to 1 or 2 of your games, and I remember thinking it was very exciting. And I played tennis, so it's like the back and forth. I'm like, you know, constantly entertained by that. But okay, so as like an outsider looking in, I'm like, I'm always fearful. I'm like, somebody's going to get hit in the face. Somebody's going to get hit in the face. It's going to be a total Marsha Brady moment. So have you been hit in the face or have you hit somebody in the face? Because I do know that you were you were ranked for aces, right?
Mm-hmm.
So is there like a bad story associated with it?
I've hit a couple of people in the face, being on the front row, just because I just had the tenacity. Like, that was my goal. Like, I want to hit somebody in the face. And I've been hit in the face once in practice by my own teammate because my other two teammates didn't block, and she just cut the ball, and it hit me like right here, and I just like cursed him out, like, "What the F are you doing?"
Yeah,
like,
because that was your teammate.
Yes,
yeah,
like block the ball, but never in a game, never in competition, never. But I've hit quite a few people in the face.
I can see that.
It's very
I can
exhilarating.
see that.
Exhilarating. It's quite exhilarating. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah.
Yeah.
But only once for me and my own teammate.
Oh, dang. So like, so has anyone been hit and then like all of a sudden they just like start gushing blood and like it's like a whole emergency or anything?
No, I haven't hit anybody in the face hard enough to where they bled. But like, we used to, like, our coach at the time would be like, because when we were in season, we could only drink water. So like, if we hit somebody in the face, we get like Gatorade, like a 6-pack of Gatorade or something. So that was like our motivation.
Oh,
and
my God.
We'd get, we hit somebody
like
in the
the
face
money
and be
shot.
like, yes, everybody would be like, 6-pack, like, we earned it. So that was kind of our goal. I know, it motivated us.
It's a lot more savage than I anticipated.
Oh no, it's with volleyball, that's like a huge thing. They have all kind of cheers and everything, like, oh, like, head in the game, like, she got, it drives you. It's a different level.
That's okay. I wasn't expecting that, but yeah. So you touched on a little bit about like kind of your progression from player, going through college into coaching and everything, but I know you said you didn't want to go back for another degree at the time. Well, I know you're pursuing another degree now, but what made you gravitate toward coaching though? Like, because I think that's a special thing. Like teaching and coaching, like you have to have like a very strong will to want to talk. I don't know how you do it.
Yeah. Initially, honestly, growing up, when I was really small, I wanted to be a sports broadcaster. I thought that was like my thing. And then when I got into middle school,
the voice for it.
It's very raspy and deep. I don't know, but when I got into middle school, you know me very well, and I'm very good at debating. And so my art teacher actually told me that like I should be a lawyer, and I was very interested in that for quite a while. But I think being a kid who grew up in my home situation wasn't what is ideal, I guess. I really looked up to my coaches, and Coach Garza, you'll hear me mention her quite a bit, but seeing her effect on not just me, but a lot of athletes that have came through that program, and just the care that she had and the vision that she saw for me and for other athletes that were bigger than what we could have ever imagined. As I was going through school and then I got to PV, that became my passion as well, because if you look at my past, I wasn't the kid that should have made it, or despite my circumstances, should have succeeded like I am. And I wanted to do that for other kids. And I think the way you do that a lot of people do that, is through sports.
Yeah.
And that ultimately, when my coach at the time said, I want you to be my assistant, I was like, this is what I should be doing.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, it definitely sounds like you have a clear passion for it. So, okay, you talked about, how you want to inspire, and a question that I had for coaches in general, like, do you get more, I guess, satisfaction or feel more accomplished from like your individual, like your team accomplishments, or like individual accomplishments for your players, like what they do after or what they accomplish during the season? Or is it more, or is it the team aspect that you're kind of more
I think when I'm in season, it's about the team and what we can do and the kind of barriers that we push through, the awards that we get, the satisfaction of winning, obviously. But as they come through the program, and ultimately our goal is to graduate them, and hopefully they're productive citizens,
Right.
you know, when they leave our program. So
Yeah.
when I see all my athletes that graduate, I'm very excited. But my heart goes out a little bit more to the kid who the people said they, you know, couldn't make it, or their family said they couldn't make it. And
The
then they go
underdog.
through 4 yeah, the
Yeah.
underdog. Like, I always want to see the underdog win. So when those athletes come through my program and still graduate and they go on to their professional careers and they get married and have their kids and they're living this life, I think that becomes more rewarding than even the ultimate goal, which is to win a championship,
Yeah.
could, because the underdog essentially made it. Although I'm happy for all my athletes that graduate, because essentially that's,
Yeah.
you know, why they come to school.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody's not going to, go past that. Okay. So as far as like team dynamics, have you ever had like a team that like just didn't mesh well? Like, I mean, I played tennis in high school, so it was an individual sport. I'm an only child, so I'm very like individual, right? But team sports are complete. You have so many other dynamics. You know, we always hear about team chemistry and things like that. So have you ever had a team that like didn't mesh well, and like how do you sort of overcome that type of barrier?
In my beginning coaching years, I had a lot of teams that didn't mesh well, so we didn't win a lot, which is very humbling and very frustrating, because as an athlete, that's really almost all I've ever did. I've never experienced that. But on the coaching side, it was different. But you start to understand, you know, I was young when I started coaching.
Yeah.
It wasn't a hard jump for me from athlete to coach, but understanding the recruiting process and who you're bringing in is quite different. So in the beginning, that's kind of how it was, and that's just kind of growing pains is what I call it. But actually, this past year was a year where it wasn't expected, because the last 3 or 4 years we had been winning. You know, we lost in the championship and lost the game before. So, you know, we had really turned the program around. And I had a lot of upperclassmen this year. And so the expectation was the upperclassmen would perform again, because they just came off a winning season. And then we'd plug a freshman here and there.
Yeah.
But unfortunately for us, our upperclassmen didn't perform. And so we ended up playing a lot of freshmen who essentially we really brought on to just keep the gym competitive and let them grow, and then hope their sophomore year, you know, they would come and perform. But essentially that turned into like a losing season for the majority of the year. And then, you know, I had to cut some, and then I had some, you know, made it to where they would fall off themselves. And then we ended up kind of turning around and got into the tournament, and we ended up playing better later in the season. But I think what most people don't understand is with high school, when they come to college, it's a huge jump. And what they don't understand is that it's a business, and it's your job. And your mom or your dad can't, you know, basically turn and change what's going on. If you're not performing, if you're not going 100%, you're not going to play. And they can
Mommy and Daddy aren't going to come save you.
They can't save you, you know. And when you step in the gym, essentially everybody's a high school all-star, and then you're bringing in 4-year transfers, and you're bringing in JUCO kids who have had that experience. And so it's not like club in high school where your mom can call or your mom can donate enough money and changes can happen. It's like, no, you have to work for whatever time you get on the court. And I think it's a culture shock for any athlete coming, you know, into a program on this level and not everything being handed to them. And I think that's the most frustration.
So that, and again, I guess that would have also something to do when you're recruiting, like what you look for in your recruits. And we talked a little bit earlier about your recruiting and how you actually have to do it like all year long, which is crazy. But I guess, you know, you have to do what you have to do. So in regard to recruiting then, what are some mistakes do you think that players make to maybe not get recruited, or maybe even some mistakes you've made as a coach recruiting players that like later on you're like, I should have seen that coming?
I think this year for sure, I think COVID was a major
It's an X factor.
change, X factor, because we weren't present in the gym. You know, we're watching a lot of things off a live stream. We're doing our recruiting visits. All of them are virtual. So you're not getting to vet these athletes as deeply as you would have prior, and or their parents. Because I find most of the time it stems from parents.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think that was a big part of my issue from this year. Just not vetting as much as we could have in the moment with COVID going on. I think players, one, their social media, that's one thing that's like almost an automatic.
Really?
Yeah, depending on, obviously if you're in high school and I'm recruiting you and you're posting drinking and, doing
so it's like
extracurricular
activities,
stuff.
it's not so much.
Well, when we go and watch them at their club tournaments, we do look at their exchange. So if a coach takes you out, what's your body language? Are you on the sideline pouting, or are you focused in on what's going on with the game? If your mom hands you a water bottle, are you throwing it down because you're mad at her? Are you disrespectful? When you're in the huddle, are you listening to the coach? So it's all the intangibles that we look at. And so there's a lot of times where we stand back and you won't even know we're there.
Yeah.
And we're watching your whole interaction.
You want to see the real side.
The real side of you.
When you think nobody's watching.
Yes.
Right.
And one thing I know that I do is when I'm really interested in a player, I really won't even talk to their club coach. I'll talk to their high school coach. Because club, they practice 2-3 times a week, and then you go play. High school, they see you every day.
Right.
5 days a week. They see you in the hallways. They see how you're in a class, so they can speak to your character.
Yeah.
So I tend to talk to a high school coach before that, and if they're saying, you know what, they're a heck of an athlete, but in these hallways and, different things like that, grades can be a huge thing for sure, but definitely personality, and sometimes parents really will X kids off our list because of how parents are in the stands. If they're really loud and cursing at the ref and, they're talking to the daughter while the coach is talking, you know what I mean? Like the coach is talking to them and they're like yelling at their daughter and the daughter's looking back at them.
Right.
That we're like, oh no,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So, when it comes to volleyball and in general, women's sports doesn't get, the platforms that men's sports do. But if you have a very high talent player, do you encourage professional opportunities for them in volleyball? I know that maybe they may be more limited in the U.S., but there's probably overseas opportunities. Like, how do you kind of direct your players?
So usually if a player comes to me and tells me that that's something they want to do, then the opportunity is there. I can put them in touch with. And usually for here, like on our level, it's overseas for sure. But most of the time, they want to do college, get their college paid for, and then they're ready to get into their career. I've had a couple of players over the years and a couple of former teammates of mine who have played overseas for a couple of years. But it's not like, like a Power 5 school or anything like that where there's the Olympics and the USA, team and stuff like that. It's a little different on our level. But if they tell me, hey, I know I want to play after, then, I have that connect there, and then they're more than welcome to do that. But most of the time, after 4 years, they're ready to get into their career.
To go. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay, so a big topic right now is NIL. So, in regard to NIL at your school, have you seen any of the effects of NIL for your players for this past year?
Not with volleyball, not with us.
Okay.
I've seen it on the HBCU level with football a lot, and some with basketball, but it hasn't trickled down to volleyball on our level. And that's just because we're a smaller D1. I'm sure like the UTs and the Baylors of the world, there's, I think I read about a soccer girl who, has something like that, but no.
So, and so in kind of watching this NIL situation and it's, you kind of predict what's going to happen. Oh, like kids are going to be driving to school in Lambos or something, like making more money than their coaches and stuff like that.
I'm sure they do.
But what I was reading an article and it was stating how the females that are making money, there's a couple twins. My daughter, she probably follows them on something, that make, like, they play basketball. They're twins. They're cute. They make a lot of money. But what they're making money off of are posts associated with how they look, their appearance, their sex appeal, essentially. So I know you and I are pretty big advocates for women, and we've talked a lot about, I won't say women's rights, but just kind of like traumas that women go through, and equality. What do you think about the fact that these women are making money off more of their sex appeal rather than their actual talent?
I think because we are a male-dominated world, sports is a male-dominated field, I think a lot of women now are just trying to get it how they can get it. It's sad, unfortunately that's how it is, but I think people, men or women, are willing to make money how they can make money. I think a lot of it should be, off of talent and stuff, but unfortunately, because it is a male-dominated field, until men feel like women's sports are more interesting than men's sports, then women are going to have to do it, off their looks or because they're cute or, the modeling and, things like that. That's how they can get it to even equate to even maybe a fourth of what the men are offered. It sucks, but unfortunately that is the dynamic of sports because everything is male-driven. I think it would have to take some pretty big names where these offers are there and for them to say, no, I want you to just do it off my talent and not feed into that side for it to ever change. But I think because, sex sells, beauty sells, and unfortunately everybody's about the quick dollar. So you'd have to be a woman in a sense to say, no, I'm not going to do that. And it's going to have to be a lot of women that follow you to say, no, it's just going to be about sports to have that tide change.
And then in essence, it's like we're still kind of taking the L in the short run because it's like, I'm still, okay, now I just gave up a $10,000 check because I said no. And and
out the gate, they're offering men $60,000.
Right. And then I think I read that Division II women's volleyball is actually seen a big increase. Like they have had a lot of earnings, which I don't know why it's the Division II. If they just have a lot of I don't know, but I just thought that was an interesting statistic. And I always think volleyball players, they always say, oh, they're so tall and, they have this image, I guess. And I was like, I guess it's just, maybe men want to look at women playing volleyball. I don't know.
With volleyball,
it's a little cringy, but I mean, it's
just the world, and I think, with volleyball, there's good volleyball everywhere on all levels. The biggest difference when you kind of step out of the Power 5 is money. So like on Division 1, it's all out of athletic budget. Division 2, it's academics mostly, some financial aid and a little bit of athletics. And in Division 3, it's just all of grants and, academic money. But there's good volleyball really on all levels. And so I think, and then with Division 1, we're under so many rules and guidelines. Division 2, 3, NAI, they don't have that. And so essentially before this whole, NIL thing came out on D2, D3, you could have earned on that level before they, regulated it. And so I think, volleyball, that is the draw with a lot of men. Wearing short shorts, tights and stuff. But now, NCAA changed the rules, so you can wear basically yoga pants, basically,
really?
Leggings. Yeah, if you watch volleyball now, you'll have whole teams in long, yoga pants.
So do you have a preference, or is it just whatever you're comfortable in?
It's whatever you're comfortable in. I have some of my girls who wear it. We don't say, hey, everybody has to wear, spandex. And then you have people who, not comfortable in their bodies. You have people religious, rules and stuff. But on the same side of that is volleyball is such an exciting sport, and it's so popular now that people come just to come. And then when you don't know and then you do come, you're like, oh, man, this is so exciting.
No, it was very exciting. Okay. Well, we're going to go to a break.
Okay.
And we are going to come back, and I have a few more questions for you.
Okay, sounds good.
So, I've read your comments. I've heard what you've said. How can a woman possibly know anything about sports? My show, The Hot Seat with Holly Heat, is an experience for sports fans to get to know athletes, fans, and myself through an outside-the-box perspective. This fall, you'll see who sits in my hot seat.
Welcome back to the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I am your host, Holly Heat, and I am still here with Coach Tacho Tyler of the Prairie View Panthers. She's the head volleyball coach, and we're still having some conversations here. So we were talking about NIL and things of that nature. Now let's transition into HBCU. I know you are a big HBCU. I mean, you went to a HBCU and you've been working at a HBCU for what, 13 years?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're like dyed-in-the-wool HBCU.
I am.
So there was a big story, just came out like 2 days ago. Travis Hunter, cornerback, highly sought after, changed his recruiting or his commitment from Florida State to Jackson State, which is a fellow HBCU. So do you think we're going to start seeing like a lot more of this kind of transition to HBCUs? I'm sure that's what you hope happens,
Yeah.
but do you think this is kind of a new wave?
Well, you're right. I hope so. I think that we've seen it in spurts over the last few years. I think you can credit Black Lives Matter for that. I think you obviously credit cops for, shooting black people, and it's recorded and it's live and you see it all the time. And I think part of that has had a lot of black athletes turning the tide, slowly. I think the other part is that that's kind of the popular thing to do is, kind of flip to a HBCU. But I think having a number one recruit like that going, which I have to credit a lot.
And like decommitting.
Like
at
decommitting,
that.
like on a
Right.
big stage,
Right.
like everybody's thinking he's going to Florida State. And then boom, and I have to credit a lot of that to Deion Sanders and him sticking to his word and saying, I'm going to pour into, this HBCU. And he's not just doing it for Jackson. He's really doing it for so many, And I think even before Deion, North Carolina A&T was doing a lot. Like, they're really huge in track, like kicking butt, like in the Olympics and national championships and all that stuff, and even football. So you saw a lot of recruits kind of doing it, but on a smaller scale. But when a number one, which would be essential to like the number one draft pick really, goes and switches like that, I think, and the NLI helps that, obviously. But I hope that a lot more follow his lead because essentially HBCUs were created because PWIs would not let us in. And then when they saw that...
And for people that don't know, explain what that is.
Publicly white institutions, predominantly white institutions are PWIs, and HBCUs are historically black colleges. So essentially, when college became a thing and colleges were starting to get built, black people at the time, PWIs did not want them to get educated. But then when obviously all the black talent, most programs cannot exist without elite black talent. And so when that became an occurrence, PWI started coming and taking the elite black talent and building their schools and their money and their funds and their reputation. And that's where you get the SECs and the Big 12, essentially. And now, we're in the SWAC and the MEAC and things like that. So essentially, and I say this all the time, anybody that follows me on social media, if not for elite black talent, there would be no SECs, there would be no Big 12s, there would be no ACCs, literally at all. And so essentially, I hope that this is elite black talent coming home. And although it would take quite a bit of years for that tide to really turn in a sense where they would get the same, funding, HBCUs would get the same funding. And even though a lot of our HBCUs have really great facilities and things like that, but the amount of what you can get from a PWI to get that at HBCU, it will take the number ones and the number twos to turn that tide and do that. And hopefully we do get to see that. I think a lot more interested in doing it. I think it's bigger in basketball and football and track, not so much in volleyball right now, not on the high level. I think about like Yassiana Presley, who plays for Baylor, or at least 5 of the starting 6 at UT are black women. And if they decided, or if they would have decided, hey, I'm going to go to a HBCU instead of UT or Baylor,
Right.
what the HBCU volleyball realm would be like. So I hope this is a trend, and not just because it's the, oh my God thing to do, but that they're really trying to turn that tide, because essentially we have a lot of Hall of Famers and great football players and basketball players that have came out of HBCUs, and knowing that they can get the same amazing education and the same opportunity. Because if you're good, you're good. If you're great, you're great. They're going to find you wherever you are.
Right.
And so I hope this essentially starts a trend. That'd be amazing.
I do too. I do too. So again, and I've known you for some years. You and I actually met in a sports group, Hoop Jargon. Shout out to
Hoop Jargon.
To Hoop Jargon. We have to say that.
Shout out to Hoop Jargon.
But I know that you are you're not so much a basketball fan as much. Rest in peace, Kobe Bryant, because I do know you, Kobe fan. But you're a football fan. So tell everybody where your team loyalty lies. Houston native, as I'm aware, you're Houston native.
Well, technically,
right?
Pasadena is where I'm from, technically. And I am a basketball. I am a sports fan. I'm a sports fan.
Well, you played a lot of.
I know. And growing up, I was a huge basketball fan. Like even women's basketball, I barely watch it now. Like, to be honest, which is crazy, but I was like huge. Like Cheryl Swoops out of Texas, like obsessed. Like that's my favorite player like, of all time. I was super into track, like Jackie Jordan Kersey, like everything. So like football is something that I picked up way later, and I had started actually watching college football. And my first,
so did I.
I know, my first favorite player was actually Cordell Stewart.
Okay.
First and foremost, and then it was Tom Brady when he was at Michigan, and it was just something like I don't know what it was.
So you actually started watching Tom Brady at Michigan.
That's the craziest thing, yeah.
That is the craziest thing, because I always tell Patriots, I say,
yeah.
So you have been a fan of the Patriots
when he was riding the pine at first.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
he
I
was
just
a
started watching.
6th-round draft pick.
Yeah, but like Michigan was always on TV. Like,
no
matter where you were,
definitely.
like they were always on TV. And so when he finally started playing and all stuff, like so I followed him all the way through because I didn't have a team. Like when the Oilers were here, like nothing. I was basketball. Like Gary Payton was my first basketball love. Like 7th grade, the gloves, like I'm wearing, And so football, like college football, is like what I picked up. And so I followed Tom Brady to the Patriots. And although he's a buck now, and I'm glad that he proved all the haters wrong and won a championship there out of the Belichick system, I am still a Patriot fan.
So you're still a Patriots fan.
I am still a New England Patriot fan. I love that it only took us 1 year in the dumps before we're now back at the top of the
pretty
AFC.
good. I actually, I'm starting to do my wager of the week, and my game this week may in fact be the Patriots-Colts game.
This is a huge game for us. Like we really need to win this game, especially since the Chiefs all of a sudden turned their season around.
Yeah,
and
they did.
We're tied
Their
with
defense
them.
crazy right now.
I know, but so I am a New.
Well, I'm glad that you didn't abandon the Patriots.
I didn't. A lot of people.
Although
thought
I would understand.
No.
I mean, I'm a D Wade fan, and I definitely followed him.
I think you for that.
but I'm glad that you're keeping your loyalty, and they have pretty. I mean, I guess it's the Belichick.
System,
it's the Belichick system.
Yeah.
So so I know you're a very involved mother. We're both,
yes.
We both enjoy brainwashing our children to our kind of sports persuasions.
Yes.
So does your son have sports persuasions that are not your taste?
Yes.
What are
number
those?
one would be he was a James Harden fan. As a Rocket, he met him a couple of times randomly
a lot of people like.
I know,
okay.
but
Well,
I'm not.
It was that person.
Well, no, before.
Part.
So his dad is a Colts fan and a Ravens fan, which is really crazy. But I'm like diehard, Tom Brady and his Patriots, So I have videos of him when he was like 4, like Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback ever, all that. But when it came to basketball, his dad would take him to Rockets games and stuff, so that's where he got the James Harden thing. Yeah. But I was such a huge Kobe fan that now he will ask about him and all that. You know, obviously he knows he passed away and stuff.
Yeah.
But like, I bought him a Kobe jersey one day, and like he wears it like all the time. It's so weird.
See, brainwashing
I
works.
know. Like,
That's
this
where
is,
parenting counts. That goes to show you that parenting.
Yeah,
we are the
because
biggest
he was like
influences.
LeBron James, something, James Harden, something. I'm like, no, let me put you on a real go.
Right.
You know, yeah.
Watch these highlights. Let me pass this over to you
Yeah.
right here.
So that's crazy, but like, he's not as sport obsessed as me and his, you know,
Yeah.
dad are.
You know
So
what,
I'm just
usually it
kinda
works
putting him
out
in there.
that, you
I
know,
know, but
works
I'm
out
like,
that way.
I'm putting him on game. You know,
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, you respect James Harden, but
Yeah.
no, it's Kobe.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
the Colts, Ravens are cool, but no,
Yeah.
Brady's the GOAT.
Well, speaking of some games, competitions and stuff, I would like to play a few games with you.
Let's do it.
If you're game.
I'm game.
Okay.
Let's go.
Awesome. So, to start off my games,
Okay.
we are going to play a little game you may remember from your elementary school days.
My memory's terrible, but let's see.
It is Mad Libs, but this is Sports Libs.
Oh gosh.
So, for this one, this is Twas the Night Before Playoffs.
Oh my
So that's the theme.
Football or basketball?
Well, we're gonna go through. So as you
Okay.
know, in Mad Libs, you have to just name certain things that I'm gonna ask you to name, and I'm gonna write them in, and then I read it at the end. Okay?
Okay.
So it's random. It's completely random.
Okay.
Don't try to look. Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right. So name a place.
Destin.
Okay. An animal.
Ooh, lion.
Okay. I could see you naming a lion. I get it. A piece of furniture.
Ooh, gotta be a bed.
Okay. A football player.
Tom Brady.
I knew you were. I already knew. But you're gonna be mad in a minute. But anyway.
Oh, no.
A noise.
Ceiling fan.
Oh, interesting. Okay. A piece of furniture.
Oh, my beanbag chair.
Classic. That's a throwback to our
Oh,
day.
man. Yeah.
Our childhood too. An ing verb.
ING verb. I don't even know what that means.
Like a verb with ing on the end.
Ooh, running.
Okay. I don't know. I knew you were going to say that too. A mode of transportation.
Airplane.
Okay. A number.
9.
An adjective.
Ooh.
Any adjective, any old adjective.
Oh, you picked that one.
No, because there's a lot of adjectives. You just got to come up. It could be like, some kind of descriptor or color or anything.
Purple.
Okay. You're going to have to come up with a lot more. Okay, a position in football.
Cornerback.
Okay. An adjective. Some kind of descriptor.
All right.
As much as you as
I know,
as we have gone back and forth on
Dark walls.
dark well the walls we'll just say we'll put dark.
Yeah.
Okay. I need another adjective, so keep them coming.
Oh my gosh, bright.
Okay. All right. An elite football player. That's why I said you were going to be mad.
Oh, Aaron Donald.
Okay. Okay. Ing verb, another ing verb.
Kissing.
Oh. Ooh, we're getting spicy here. I'm like, now we're on the hot
Oh,
seat.
PG-13, hot seat.
Hot seat, right? Okay. And a body part. Well, now we were.
Oh, legs.
Okay. All right. That was the same. I needed that elite football player again. A material for clothing.
Cotton.
Okay. Can't go wrong with cotton.
Can't go wrong with cotton.
Another body part.
Lips.
All right. To another body part.
Butt. We're on the hot seat.
Woo! Okay, hold on. Let me get it. An object, plural. Like.
Okay. Cars.
Okay. An indesirable type of person.
A liar.
Okay.
I was going to say somebody dusty, but I'll go with liar.
Okay, an offensive play in football.
Offensive play. Shotgun.
Okay. Game day food.
Oh, pasta, always.
Oh. A game day drink.
Water.
Water, folks, water.
If I'm coaching, right? Water.
Right. Okay. An NFL team.
New England Patriots.
A verb in the past tense.
Slept.
Okay. A lot of people sleep, bed, Okay. A verb for the manner of speaking, past tense, like said, yelled, like something like.
Yelled.
Okay. And an adjective.
Oh my God.
One more. It's the last one. It's the last one.
Can I do a color?
Yeah.
Red.
Red. And a time of day.
Beer 30.
Beer 30. Perfect. Perfect. All right. So here we are. Twas the night before playoffs.
Ooh.
'Twas the night before playoffs, and all through the destin, not a creature was stirring, not even a lion. The bets were placed using a sports betting website with care. This is a sponsorship opportunity, folks. With hopes that riches would soon be there, the fans were nestled all snug in their bed, while visions of Tom Brady danced in their heads.
Oh,
Definitely
smart
for
people.
you.
Good dreams.
When out on the lawn arose such a ceiling fan noise, I sprang from my beanbag chair to see what was the matter. What to my running eyes should appear but an airplane and 9 purple cornerbacks. with a dark, bright driver so lively and quick, I knew in a second it must be Aaron Donald. And then in the twinkling I heard on the roof kissing of each little hoof. As I drew my leg and was turning around down the chimney, Aaron Donald came with a bound. He was dressed all in cotton from his lips to his butt.
Ooh.
His clothing were all tarnished with ashes and soot. A bundle of cars he flung on his back. He's pretty strong.
He's pretty strong. I like that.
And he looked like a liar opening his pack. Jeez, we switched gears there. He spoke not a word, but went straight for his shotgun. That could go either way. This is Texas,
I know,
so I don't know.
Texas, you never know.
Yeah. Then he filled the refrigerator with pasta and water. Then he
Ooh.
sprang to his airplane and gave the Patriots a whistle. And they all slept away like a down in a thistle. But I heard him yell as he drove out of sight, "Merry playoffs to all, a red beer 30."
Ooh.
Well,
Sounds like Patriots in the Super Bowl to me.
It does.
Thanks to the Rams.
All right. Okay, so
That was fun.
our next. Okay, we're gonna play another game.
Okay.
In a second. We're back at the hot seat with Holly Heat. I am your host, Holly Heat, and I am still here with my guest, Coach Tacho Tyler of the Prairie View Panthers, and we are going to play our second game, which is Who Dis, where we place a card on our foreheads. Popular game you may know, but we're going to keep it about sports and pop culture mainly. Ooh. So we have 15 seconds, and my lovely, beautiful, polite, darling daughter is going to be keeping time for us. So if you hear a little voice in the background telling us, go to the next one, then it's her. All right, you ready? You ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, you're going to guess first. So,
okay, I'm ready.
And hopefully it's not upside down. If so, I'm going to turn it around.
It's okay. I can read upside down.
Is it upside down? Okay.
Okay.
All right, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. All right.
COVID, football, lied.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Yep. The next one.
Oh, he greatest golfer of all time.
Tiger Woods.
Yes. Okay. Oh shoot, I looked. I didn't even know.
Baseball, last name rhymes with Hayes.
Jose Altuve.
Just come on.
What I want to say is, the greatest sprinter of all time.
Shoot. shoot. Jamaican.
Yes, Jamaican.
I know. Why can't I think of it? Usain Bolt.
Yes.
I was like,
Okay.
I got it.
I'm sorry.
Oh, braids in his hair, sick crossover. Basketball.
Allen Iverson.
Yes.
Okay. I was a huge AI fan. Okay. Okay. Greatest point guard of all time. Played for the Lakers.
Point guard, though.
I don't want to say anything negative.
Magic Johnson?
Yes. Yes. Okay.
Dead giveaway.
Sorry.
Ooh, I don't know. I think he's a picture, baby. His last name is a fish.
His last name is Trout. Mike Trout.
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Is that baseball?
Mike Trout. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
He's like one of the highest paid basketball players. Okay. Oh, the greatest rocket of all time.
Elijah Wan.
Yes. Okay.
Oh, the greatest, biggest, most powerful Laker of all time.
Kobe Bryant.
Biggest, most powerful.
Shaq.
Yeah.
Shaq. Sorry.
I get way better clues than you. I was going to say
Okay.
that.
Chiefs quarterback.
Oh, Mahomes.
Yes. Why did it say the second? Why did it say the second on it?
Oh, Jackson State head football coach.
Oh, Deion Sanders.
Yes.
Coach Deion. Your favorite player?
Either Kobe Bryant or Tom Brady.
Well, the NFL.
Oh, Tom Brady.
Okay,
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, man. Celtic great, black, old. Played against Larry Bird. He's a Celtic.
Celtic.
Most rings ever in NBA history.
Bill Russell.
Yeah.
Okay. Arguably the greatest, but not the greatest NBA player of all time, but some people say he is.
If I'm saying the greatest, it's Kareem.
Okay.
Other people, it's LeBron.
Oh, it's time. Yeah, okay. So she got it at the end. Okay. All right, that was fun. And
I think I gave way better clues than you did.
I'm, yeah.
Did I not? I feel
I'm
like...
really, yeah, you did.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
All right.
Maybe it was, I don't know.
These are
But,
the ones you got right, though. Good job.
Okay, look. I'm Holly Heat, and you're back with the Hot Seat with Holly Heat, and we are here with Coach Tacho Tyler of Prairie View University. We are about to play 3-second Jenga. So the point of this game is to pull out a block, push out a block, read the question that's on the block, and answer it within 3 seconds. And hopefully we don't knock it over before we get a few questions in. All right, you're my guest, so you go first.
All right. Oof.
Like you
These
might,
are like
you're
real
gonna
tough.
like
I might
end
do it
the
like
game
the
early.
first time.
Oh Lord.
If animals could talk, which would be the rudest? A peacock, I feel like.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
A peacock.
I feel like I need to have like a little. Oh.
I feel like you might knock it down.
I know. I might
They're
knock it
so
down.
hard. Okay.
Okay. It's coming.
Yep.
Oh, it's a red question.
Ooh.
Okay. What's the most depressing meal you've ever eaten? Probably sneaking grilled cheese sandwiches into my backpack.
Sneaking what?
Grilled cheese sandwiches
grilled cheese.
from the
Okay.
cafeteria at A&M into my backpack because I forgot to sign up for a meal plan the second semester of my freshman year of college.
So old grilled
Very
cheese?
Yes, old grilled cheese in the microwave, in the mini fridge microwave. Oh,
What fictional character, can I talk today, have you had a crush on? Ooh, Jack Sparrow.
Oh, I'm a huge, yes, I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay. Oh, Lord. I think these are some little raw blocks here. Oh my gosh. I feel like I'm going to knock it over. Oh no.
Oh no, maybe another one.
Oh no, that's not gonna. I feel like I'm cheating. Like somebody would totally be like, "You're cheating."
Ooh.
Oh, it's all gonna tumble. Oh my god. This might be a very short game.
Oh, Holly, you're so bad. Oh, you got it. You got it.
I got it.
You got it.
Actress GOAT, Meryl Streep. I've made it like
over
very
Viola?
difficult. I've made it very difficult.
Over Viola?
Oh, I mean, I didn't think. I think. Well, she's a lot older than Viola as well.
Biggie or Tupac? Tupac.
Thank you. Okay, because we're gonna have
Are
to
we
have
supposed
a.
to pile
we're
them
gonna
on
have
top,
a,
right?
Oh yeah, we are.
Oh, yeah,
my
yeah,
God.
yeah. Okay.
Okay.
There you go. You do yours.
This is it.
Yeah. because we can't play.
And this is probably going to be the part that messes up.
Okay.
All right. I feel like I need to be a little bit. You know what? I could go from this side too.
Okay, go ahead.
Maybe not, because these kind of suck too. Oh Jesus.
Ooh.
Oh. These are some new blocks. This is what I get.
Don't blame it on the blocks.
This is
Don't
what
blame
I
it on the
get.
blocks.
This is what I get from buying this from Big Lots,
Oh, Dollar General.
Dollar General. If they would have had it at Dollar Tree, trust me, I would have had it. We're big fans. Ooh, I found
you got
one.
one.
Oh,
Okay.
we got one. What's the most annoying noise? People smacking. Smacking when they eat their food.
Okay.
Hate it. Hate it. Okay. Good luck. Oh, you're going off the top. I see. You're not supposed to do that?
No, I'm not at the top.
The
I'm under
producer
it.
said we're not supposed to do that.
No, you can't do off the top. I'm not off the top. I can do anywhere else except for the top. Oh,
no, we're gonna
wait.
have to look
I
at
see
the-
what you're saying because it
Oh,
has. I got you.
yes.
All right, let me put it back. So not like how many rows we've been on? Okay. All right. Damn it. All right, you got me.
It makes
Ooh.
sense now. In normal Jenga, it doesn't.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it doesn't
Okay.
matter. But I can see where it
With the
matters now.
questions. Okay.
Oh,
Ooh.
Jesus. Oh, it's so nerve-wracking. So nerve-wracking.
Ooh. Oof.
Oh,
This is bad.
I know. I think I kind of just messed it up. Maybe I am supposed to grease them. I was supposed to grease them.
Yeah, I think it's probably gonna fall.
It's probably going to fall.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, yeah. They're a little...
Shit. This is. Yeah, you fucked up. Oh, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that.
It's okay. We can edit it.
Okay. Oh my
Get a
God.
sec.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
Goat R&B singer. Ooh. Vocal wise, I'm gonna go with Kiki Wyatt.
Okay. All right, guys. That's probably going to be about it for this one. If you knew how tight these blocks were in here. If you knew how tight these blocks are. I feel like I need to hold it because it's just going to...
You about to
Jeez.
Oh, dang. you
Wow,
got
I
one.
found another one. I don't even want to answer this question. Well, no, I can't answer this question. It's
What's the question?
GOAT of the NFL.
Okay.
I'm going to say Lawrence Taylor.
Girl, bye.
I know she wanted me to say Tom Brady. I
'Cause
know
he is.
she was wanted me to.
You're a hater.
That's why you're about to knock it down.
I know. Because you set me up.
Are you supposed to say Jenga at the end? I feel like I need a Holly Heat thing
Ooh.
to say.
Say hot seat.
Hot seat. Hot seat. Ooh, oh my goodness.
Ooh.
Oh no.
Same outfit every day or same shoes every day? Same shoes. I don't mind that.
Okay.
Ooh.
My daughter would disagree. She'd be like, oh no.
So you wear the same thing every day?
Yeah.
So the
Oh
shoes.
look.
Oh,
Oh,
look
I
at you.
Okay. If you could have any superpower, what would it be? Read minds.
Of course you'd say that. Even though their minds would still lie.
Maybe.
Let me see.
You have to catch them while they're like about to go to sleep or something. I don't know.
Oh, this is so bad.
It is. This is like so. Oh wow, we're really persevering here. Like this,
We
this is an example of perseverance.
Comedy goat. Just a personal fave. I don't know if he's the goat, but I'm gonna go with Bernie Mac.
Okay,
Never lets me down.
that's legitimate. That's very.
Never
that's
lets me down.
legitimate.
Never lets me down.
All right.
Oh my God!
I got lucky. It's like I rigged the game.
Yeah, I think
I
you're
did
trying
not
to
rig
make
the
it.
game. I didn't rig the
I think
game,
you're
y'all.
trying to make me make it fall.
What conspiracy theory do you believe? Crap. I wrote these
If you don't do it in
questions.
3 seconds, can I answer?
I know.
Because it's 3
Yeah,
seconds.
because it's 3 seconds. Okay, you go.
Nobody landed on the moon.
Oh, come on. No, not the moon
Check the
landing.
boots. Check the
Ooh.
boots.
Ooh. Okay.
Check the boots.
Okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, this is probably going to be it.
Yeah, and those we may have already answered.
Yeah. Oh.
Do it, do
Yeah.
it, do it.
Damn, I hate to lose, but I think that's it.
It is. It probably is. would you pick that one?
Because there's like no other one to pick. Everything else is too tight. Even this. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me see. Hold on.
This, you know what?
It's okay.
You know what? Look, he's
Say-
saying it's 2. He says 2.
No, because he said we're already like right here, and he said we can't take from
we can't
the top.
take it. I didn't.
Oh, no. I hate to lose.
I know. But I'm going to love to win.
This one's like,
It was
it's
kinda
there,
my
but
fault.
it's like not coming out.
It's almost there. Oh, Lord.
Oh, that's like 2. One time. Oh, shit. Okay, hold on.
Oh, my gosh. Wow.
Goat
Wow.
female singer.
I know who you're not going to say. 'Cause you're a hater, but you
If
know
it's
it.
vocally, it's Whitney.
Yeah, I agree.
We're just talking vocals, not songs or nothing.
Yes, vocally. All right. I already know it's over, guys. I already know. Even though the producer's saying that there's still options,
Oh.
I might have a method here. Hold
You got a
on.
little.
Oh no.
Oh, shit. Are you sure? Oh, it's about to go. No, you got it. Yeah, you can't poke that way.
Oh! Yes! Okay. Oh, what's your back in my day? We didn't have cell phones. Back in my day, we did not have cell phones. We had the phone with the long cord. Oh, forgot.
Oh.
This is not. This actually lasted a lot longer
Than I
I
thought.
anticipated.
No, really.
So, I mean, I feel like this is a good example of women persevering.
Oh, for you.
Oh wow! And again, we have another turn of events.
What would be the worst thing the government could make illegal? Sex.
That would be horrible. Sorry, close your ears to my daughter that's over here. Okay, that's not gonna be a good one. You know what? I don't have a good feeling about any of this.
Oh, spin the block. Giga champ! Round me! Round me!
Son's celebrating over there. I love it. I love the support. Anyway, thank you so much for being a guest on the Hot Seat with Holly Heat. I hope you had a great time.
I did. I had a wonderful time.
All right. Well, good luck on your next season and your recruiting and everything like that. And
Thank you.
thank
Appreciate
you
it.
guys for joining us on the Hot Seat with Holly Heat.